Cleveland Browns. What do you like about what the Browns have done?
I think we'll both have the same one. It's Okoronkwo, the edge rusher.
Obo.
Brought into the Texans last year on what was a great flyer move for them. Took like half a season to get going, but then once he was starting games, playing the majority of the snaps late in the year, I think from week 11 on, something like that, he had basically 30 pressures over the back end of the season. All of his sacks came in that period where he was actually starting games rather than just coming in as a bit of a rotation guy. I think he showed that he can be a legitimate starting threat, particularly opposite a guy like Myles Garrett. So for them to come in, add a guy like Okoronkwo, and bring in Dalvin Tomlinson, albeit on some pretty hefty money, those are two players that should dramatically improve that defensive line.
Not to overreact to like the two people on Twitter that called me on it, but I think I said that they overpaid for Tomlinson in passing the other day. I haven't seen the specific contract breakdown, so I don't want to overreact completely. It's a lot of money for Dalvin Tomlinson, but I get it, right? I mean, Tomlinson was a guy, so I would put this on the. I like a lot of what the Browns did, so I guess Tomlinson would be the one I have the biggest question about, but it's still fine. I think it's still fine, Tomlinson. We see the grades on the screen there, 77 pass rush grade, only a 65 run defense grade. Part of that was how he played in Minnesota. I think they probably move him back to more of a pure nose tackle in Cleveland, which they need. They've just needed somebody who could play the run. That's what Tomlinson was with the Giants. They need somebody up front. The Browns played the positional value playbook at defensive tackle, where if you stack up the positions, we did this at the Sloan panel, you stack them up and defensive tackles really low. But now we see the NFL not only paying for those guys, but the teams that played the positional value playbook and said, we're not going to pay for these guys. We're going to bring in Taven Bryan for a year. We're going to try third rounder Jordan Elliott. We're going to try second, third, fourth rounders, which the Browns have done. But they've been absolutely gashed against the run in certain games. It's been a weakness. So they're reverting back the other way and saying, let's invest in Tomlinson, who can be a really good nose tackle.
Yeah, he's had at least 20 defensive stops every single season of his career. The Browns had one guy that had more than 10 on the interior of the defensive line last season. That was Jordan Elliott, who had 18, but it took him 700 snaps to get there, and he had a run defense grade of 33. So the difference, like the upgrade from what they had a season ago to Dalvin Tomlinson, should be massive. And Tomlinson started off his career with multiple seasons straight of just dominant run defense as a true kind of nose tackle for the Giants. The Vikings used him a little bit more broadly along that defensive line, and he showed that he actually has some pass rushing chops as well. It did come at the detriment of his run defense, but over his career, he's shown that he can do a little bit of everything along that defensive front, be good at all of it. And again, just from what the Browns had last season, essentially Taven Bryan and Jordan Elliott as their two starters, it's a huge upgrade.
So bringing back Ethan Pocic. I mean, I never say his name the right way. Pocic? Yeah. Bringing him back at center, solid. I love the Okoronkwo signing. I get the Tomlinson signing. And they brought in Juan Thornhill last night to play safety. Those are all free agent type of moves. Tomlinson's the only one that's really big money. Okoronkwo at 3 years, $22 million is very reasonable. A guy that keeps proving it on 1-year deals and earned I like that price tag for a productive edge. I like that price tag.
Yeah.
When that's you have guys getting that almost per year on the interior of the defensive line who might not be as good as Okoronkwo. So I think the Browns playing it well so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're generally speaking, these are moves to, other than Tomlinson. Tomlinson is the one that changes things a little bit, but the rest of them are all kind of just to keep things ticking over. Like Pocic obviously is re-signing to play the position he played last year. Thornhill comes in as a like-for-like replacement for John Johnson, hopefully an upgrade for them given how badly the Johnson thing worked out. And then Okoronkwo comes in to replace Jadeveon Clowney, who also didn't really work out for them. So theoretically, they are hoping that attacking the same positions and getting better players will have better results for them, which, makes sense.